Hey YouTubers, it's Colo, the original Model E host here today. Today I am doing my first crypto mining video. I do have a gaming channel, Colo Games, if you're interested in checking out that. It's mostly Roblox games. I'll be adding more content as I grow my base. But today we're going to be looking at crypto mining. I'm pretty big into crypto mining. And some of you may have heard of the Chia crypto mining, which uses hard drives and proof of time and space versus a proof of work, ASIC and GPU miners. And I found recently that I can plot approximately 35 plots in one day using one machine. So since I have 4 machines plotting, you can imagine how many plots a day I am now plotting since I've discovered this trick, and I wanted to share it with all you other Chia farmers out there to help you grow your farms as fast as you can now that pools are open and we can actually see some rewards of our hard work. So this is the chia.net site. This is where you would download and install your blockchain simply by clicking this link here, and you would select what you do. I run Windows, so I download the Windows platform. When you download that, you run it. It will install your blockchain. If you're creating a harvester, you don't actually need to set up your keys. If you know your farm plot and your plotter IDs. And so for our purposes, this machine already has that. I'm going to assume you're working in a machine where maybe you've been plotting, you've been using the Chia GUI or the Chia Plotter, you're getting Powershell, and you've been getting 4.2 plots a day. That's as fast as I can get the Chia Plotter to work. And so recently I came across what is called the MadMax Chia Plotter. I'll put this link in the description down below. But downloading this plotter has made my life a lot easier. I am plotting a ridiculous amount of plots per day, filling up all my HDD space with these plots at ridiculous rates. So this is where you would go. You would download it. It actually comes in a zip format, and you have to once you get it in there, you download, you extract it, and you end up with something like this Chia Plotter README file that gives you a little bit of basic instructions. But again, we're going to run this in the Powershell. So if you're not familiar with your Chia Powershell commands, I would get familiar with them because you're going to be using very similar commands here with the MadMax Plotter. Just to show you an example, so here's one of my drives that I just filled up in a matter of days. You can see here where if we look at the times between each one of these plots, you can see I'm plotting every 40 minutes a plot. That means 35, 36 plots in one day. As a matter of fact, if we look at, these are the plots for the 18th, we can see here I got 35 plots in the day on the 18th. So just, and so I was blown away because going from 5 plots a day to 35 plots a day, that is ridiculous. So let's see how we can do that. I'm actually going to play a little bit here with my threads to see if maybe we can shrink that a little bit. 40 minutes is pretty impressive, but I think we can get a little bit more. So first thing we want to do is after we've downloaded and we unzip MadMax, I'm assuming, like I said, you're doing this on a machine you've already been plotting Chia with, and you just want to boost that time. In another video, we'll talk about setting up a machine. We'll talk about setting up a harvester. But right now, let's just look at how can I get my machine, my harvester, to plot faster, because I want to get those Chias. So the first thing we do is we go in here and we're going to press Shift, and then we're going to right click. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try it. First, we're going to unselect the file, and then we're going to press Shift. We're going to right click, and right here it says Open PowerShell window. I like doing this instead of just opening PowerShell and then changing the directory. This opens the window right where I need it, right in my folder here. Then this is Windows, so we have to put a period, and then we're going to backslash, and we're going to say Chia underscore leave plot. Something cool that I like about PowerShell is I got that far. I don't know what to do next. I'm going to put a dash. I'm going to say H. And let's see. It didn't help me at all. Oh, it wants me to put dash dash help. So let's go back there. Dash dash This is a little bit different than running the Chia Plotter, but here we can see these are our basic commands that it's going to ask from us. The number of plots we want to create, one being default. I like the fact that you can put a -1 here and plot indefinitely. That's how I started to find out how many plots it takes me before I fill up my space. Our number of threads, again, the standard is 4. And if you remember, that's the standard number of threads in our Chia Plotter. And I've played around with those threads in the Chia plotting and not seeing much benefit. U is for buckets. It has a default there. You don't have to change that value if you don't want. The next important one for our purposes is the T. That's our temporary drive. Again, very similar to the Chia plotting, but then you see the 2 right below. It's a second temporary drive. So this allows you to plot faster using 2 separate temporary drives, where 25% of your data gets written to your T directory and 75 gets written to your T2 directory, and it allows you to split that up so you're not burning through your NVMe SSDs or your faster drives. You can actually split that up how you want to divvy that up. And then of course D is our final drive. There's a few other commands there. The important thing is this is the most up-to-date MadMax Plotter here, so if you are in a pool, you end up using the -C for the pool contract ID. You do not use -P for your public key. If you use the -P, you're going to be plotting OG plots and you're going to be mining by yourself, which is great if you win. But if you're like little old me, I have not won by myself. But since I started plotting in a pool, I'm seeing rewards, I'm seeing regular rewards, and the rate I'm plotting, I'm seeing these rewards grow every single day. And that's what it's about, right? I'm not doing this for fun, I'm not doing it for my health, I'm doing it for the rewards at the end of the day. And of course, F is your farmer ID. I'm going to again assume that you have been using PowerShell to plot. If you haven't been, and I'm going to create a video later on that shows you how to get these keys from your plots, from the GUI, so that you can then turn it into code to put in here. So this is going to be my code right here. I'm going to put in, I'm going to say /Chia_plot space /F. I'm going to put my farmer key right there. This is going to be my public farmer key that I got from Chia. And then because I am going to be creating plots for my pool, I'm going -C and I'm putting my pool contract number there. I have historically been plotting with 32 plots on this machine right here. This is a MSI Trident X gaming computer, which I have turned into a harvester. And so I've been doing 32 plots, but I want to push it. We can choose up to 128 threads, and the MadMax software will maximize. It will push as many threads as our computer can handle. So I'm going to try that. Notice the N for our account, that's a -1. That means give me an infinite amount of plots. Let me look at my drives here real quick and make sure I tell it where I want to go. I use my D drive as my temporary drive, and actually I use it both for my temporary 1 and 2 because it is a fast drive and I like it. Probably will be adding more drives to this machine, but not anytime soon. And then my final drive, right now I'm in drive J. I have multiple drives running on my node that are network drives that I'm just plotting directly to. I have multiple drives installed on each of my harvesters that I'm plotting to, but right now this machine is drive J, and I'm going to go ahead. That's the basic code that I need right there. We're going to watch this, we're going to let it plot, we're going to see how fast we're going to plot, but we're going to hit that button. You can see right away it starts off, it says we are crafting 1 out of an infinite number of plots. We're going to use 128 threads, and the buckets we're using, it gives you all that fun information that we just told it. Now the cool thing that I like doing when I do this is I go over here to Task Manager, and I'll run my Task Manager and check out my performance at that time. Table 1 took 20 seconds to draft, which is normal. That's pretty normal and usual for Table 1, actually. And here, when I look at how fast my write speeds are, I see I spike up and I go up to 1.4, 1.8. I've seen my, this average around, over 1.8 gigabytes during the plotting process, which is why it's happening so darn quick. So I'm going to step away right now. We're going to come back in approximately 40 minutes, and we're going to see if we have plotted a plot. Okay, here we are. We're about halfway through, and I just want to pause a moment and look at that. Your CPU 100%, 4.66 gigahertz processing. Your memory, your RAM is using 25, almost 26 gigabytes of RAM. And then the hard drive is processing, writing at 1.3 gigabytes a second, reading at 1.1 gigabytes a second at the same time. Ridiculous. All right, let's finish this plot. We just finished our plot using MadMax. We can see here that it took 44 minutes to do so, a little bit longer than I anticipated. Historically, I imagine it's because I ran the recording software at the same time, using a little bit of my processing power, which slowed down my plotting. But still, that's much better than our 5.5 hours using our Chia Plotter, which was only using a fraction of our resources we had available on our computer. Plotting this fast, I'm still going to get 35 plots, maybe 36 every other day. I'm pretty happy with the results of this video. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully you learned something and maybe you can get 35 plots. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, comment down below, tell me how you're plotting, what you're plotting. Can you beat 35 plots one day? If so, I'd sure like to know how. I look forward to making more videos like this. Until then, this is Kolo, the original Mali host, signing out.